with Team Meerkat. I see a lot of people on our Facebook page shouting, "Go Meerkat, go!" So here we have Team Meerkat's Mark Moderman here. How are you today on your lay day, sir?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yes, and you mentioned all the people on Facebook. It's been really humbling. All the people watching. I had my sister in South Africa staying up to all hours of the night because she couldn't turn the phone tracker off, So,
Oh,
and my daughter, after we got in at 1:30 in the morning
was
the other night,
watching.
yeah, sent me a text at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing up still? She's like, I couldn't turn it off. I had to watch you finish. So it's been thanks to everybody for the support. It's been incredible.
They are losing it
Mm.
on Facebook about you guys. So I'm so glad. I'm assuming this is a fan favorite here. So I'm glad to have you sitting here
Thank you
next to
very
me
much.
talking. One of the questions that I wanted to start with, because I am a modern day hippie and we've had this conversation before about the marine life that you experience out there while you're actually sailing the World 1000 race. Have you guys encountered amazing aspects of the marine life out there yet?
Oh, Nikki, I'm so glad you're asking me this. I'm a man of nature too. I love nature and I love watching birds and probably my favorite creature is a dolphin, having grown up surfing and sailing my entire life. But yes, we've had some incredible views. Still haven't seen a whale yet, so we'll keep that on the list. But leaving Hollywood Beach, we were right in the Gulf Stream, and the water has been incredibly beautiful and clear, warm. And we had tons of flying fish, which are really cool little guys.
Really?
Yeah, and we must have actually at one point was a highlight. We probably went through a school of 30 or so of them, and they all took off. And it was in a beautiful light blue color. They're really
Oh,
pretty. And probably a bigger highlight than that are the loggerhead turtles. The first couple of days, we must have seen 30 or so. We had to do one avoiding action for one. But at one point, we had one of them while Michael and I were deciding on a tactical decision. We had a huge loggerhead turtle put his head above the water, and he almost did like Nemo did. Yo, dude, yeah, go for it. So cool, man.
totally
Totally,
did.
dude.
That is super
No,
cool.
amazing. We also saw a little shark, and then we yesterday. Is that correct? I'm losing track of time. Yeah,
It's
now
just
into this
rolling
event.
into the
Whoa.
other, I know.
We actually got to see our first dolphins. We had they didn't join us on the boat, but they were around us, so that was really cool.
I think I like to think that that's a sign of good luck when you guys see like a whole bunch of dolphins at one time. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just going to stick that out there that it's a sign of good luck.
Nikki, I'm going to go with that because it was at the start of the day. We were looking pretty good, and we needed some encouragement. The day before was a little tough, and
Mhm.
that's one of the things with this event. It's the emotional and not only the physical, but the ups and downs have been incredible. To go through from one for every hour after the next. There's different
A
stuff going
wave.
on. Yes, and yeah, we started off. We were feeling a little down, and our communication on the boat wasn't very good. And we ran across a couple of dolphins, or they joined us rather, and it totally lifted us up.
Righted it right
Totally
there.
lifted us up. Yeah, it was amazing.
So let's play off, like you said, the wave of everything emotions, physical strain, all of that. How do you guys work through or maneuver when you're in those waves as a team and independently?
It's definitely been challenging. Michael and I have not done a lot of sailing together. So it's taken a little bit of adjustment, and we've butted heads a couple of times, and that's been part of the challenge to like work through that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think communication is a very big part of it, and realizing where you are and just being able to humble yourself a little bit and sort of take a step back and regroup has been we've done that on a number of occasions too, and yeah, we're having a good time. But just you get to the finish line, and there's this overwhelming feeling of emotion
I bet.
to be a part of this event, and realize. and I think our crew is amazing. You know, we got an amazing group of people, and to arrive back on the beach, I'm getting my goosebumps in my hair standing up thinking about it. You know, and they're all waving and ready to help. It's so whatever kind of day we've had, we're like, look at what we get to do here. This is absolutely incredible. And it's been, I know for Michael, it's probably been 20 years, and I'm not going to say how, well, I can't say how long. When I was probably 18, I was dreaming about this, you know? So that's a long time. And to actually see it come into fruition now is really, really humbling. I get quite emotional. The last couple of days, I felt like I wanted to burst out into tears just seeing how everybody's come together and the support that we're getting from people, you know, out there, and our team is just, there's a lot of love. It's really, really cool.
The team was, I think it was yesterday because days are really running into each other, but they were literally out there when you guys were coming in, standing, clapping, and waving, and all types of stuff as you guys were sailing in. It was a beautiful thing to see standing next to them, like, look at that. That is amazing. Just to know that you have that side support
Well,
is a beautiful thing.
I got to tell you, I mean, so this is a Hobie family, basically. I don't know if I can say that because we're sailing F-18s here, but so our crew is a Hobie family, and most of us have been sailing. In fact, all of us, I think, have been sailing Hobies since we were little kids, you know. And they call it the Hobie way of life, you know. And it's a family. It really is a family. It's like every time we go to a national event or a big regatta, it's like a family reunion. So when we started this campaign a little over a year ago, we chose a couple of key people. And I've been so humbled to see how people have come out wanting to help us. I'm like, you really want to do this for us? You know, they've given up time at their work, their financial outlay, you know, their vehicles, it's trailers, you know, it's been incredible. I mean, I could give the whole list of names, but our crew is incredible, and we will give their names, I think. Yes. We got Wally Myers, who's our beach crew. He's a 7-time, he's an 8-time national champion now. Oh, wow. So he's done the Worrell in 1982 when it was nonstop on Hobie 16s. Okay.
He did the one where they didn't get no sleep.
Non-stop. So he's accomplished, very accomplished sailor and a very cool guy, you know, surfer guy too, which helps. And we got Wally's wife, Lynn Myers, who's our team manager, who has stepped up and is my mom now.
She gives mom vibes, very much so, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but you seem like you take care of everybody, a little bit of everybody.
She definitely takes care of all of us. She keeps us on track.
I believe
it's that. Like, let's go now.
I was communicating with her.
No, she's been awesome, you know, and doing a lot of our financial planning and stuff, which is a big part of this. In some ways, unfortunately, it's quite an expensive endeavor. We got Tyler Myers, who's their son, a very accomplished catamaran sailor too, and he's been our pusher. Done incredible. Every time we get ready, he's like, okay, you see those waves? I'm going to push you. What you did last time was you did this, you know, this time you got to do a little bit of, so that's the kind of thing that's happening, you know. And then we've got Wolfgang Kornweibel and John Baldry, who gave up their time. On their own accord, we had kind of approached them with the idea, but they stepped up and they said, yes, we want to be a part of this, you know. And John we got a lot of our gear in his truck, and he's traveling up the coast with us, you know, and he's been a key part of keeping the boat together. Him and Wolf have been working on the boat all, you know. Once we get up as sailors, we whisked off by our mom to our room, and so we can have a shower. And
they're taking care of the boat.
They're taking care of all of that. Jim West, who unfortunately is leaving us tomorrow, so he's been on the first part of the event, stepped in at the last minute. He's been in his own vehicle. He's also been a key member. He's a machinist, so he's got some knowledge on some of the parts and stuff, you know. And then we have Sue Cause, who's one of the few ladies that have done the Worrell 1000.
She did the world.
She did.
Okay.
And actually, she's key in navigation and stuff. So, and also keeping us on track. You know, she doesn't let us slip off. Time to go now, boys. Time to get some rest. You know, and going through the charts and the course in the mornings and stuff. So, that's been awesome.
The way you just broke down your crew gives so much better perspective and understanding of the crews. Like, we knew about the pusher because we see them on camera pushing you guys out there, but like Sue and all of everyone else, how you broke down their roles and how they add to Team Meerkat. Thank you for that. That
No.
was perfect. I love the fact how you said your pusher is actually like, hey, remember you guys did this last time? Let's try this way. Look at the waves out there. Thank you for that. So that's I don't know if all crew members do that, but I would assume that all crew members do that. But that is amazing that you have a crew that does each and every job and takes it well and gives you guys information, education, a little bit of tidbit of sprinkle of this is the secret sauce of what to do. That's awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you guys have the support that you have. Hence the reason why your guys are a fan favorite because everybody it's like a nicely oiled machine here. Even though we have the kinks or whatnot, it's a nicely oiled machine. Now, in regards to you and your other counterpart racing, I know you said you have to sit back sometimes and humble yourself when it comes to the waves of emotion and physical strain out there. um how important is it that when you guys do have that time to come back in, that you can either work through that, talk through that, or focus on that offshore? Is that something that you guys kind of work on offshore when it comes to this?
That's actually a good question. I think it goes once again. It goes through phases and things. While we're sailing, both of us are pretty accomplished and pretty aggressive racers. So I think while we're offshore, we're focusing on sailing. And yeah, we do discuss it, but I think, and I've been surprised how challenging the racing has. I thought there'd be a little more time to kind of chill and relax, and it's actually been on all the time. And it's tricky to sort of relax, because I think with the length of this race, you almost need to pace yourself a little bit. And so we've been pushing fairly hard, and yeah, there's a lot of communication that goes on. We've had some challenges along the way. The mast came down a few days ago, and we had to jerry rig a sail and get back to the beach. It took us about an hour and 15 minutes to get back on shore, once we got all our stuff organized again. And we were on such a high before that. We were going so well and catching some guys, and then for the boat to break like that was really disheartening, and that takes a little bit back. And we had to, I think both of us realized and talked about, what, let's just go to the next stage. This has happened. Let's just try regroup and deal with what we have. And then we get ashore, and we actually managed to get the mast up again. And who arrives? But our fantastic crew. They had organized with the lifeguards, and down the beach come 3 trucks, with all our crew members, and put the boat back together again. And I think we lost 2 hours maybe on the last guy. So at the end of the day, over 1,000 miles, it wasn't too bad. We finished.
And then the next day, you guys came back strong.
We did, yes. So what did I say to somebody, I think an Australian crew? I said that, we have moments of ignorance or stupidity, and then we have flashes of brilliance.
Yesterday was a flash of brilliance. You can tell on your faces when you came in, like, yep.
Oh, yesterday was an incredible day for us. We had a really, really good sail. we hung tough. You know, the day before was a really long leg.
Yes.
We finished at 1:30 in the morning, which I don't think I've ever spent that amount of time on a small catamaran. You know, so that was really challenging, and I think we were a little down at that point. You know, and also it was a quick turnaround. We had to
Mhm.
get up at 10 o'clock the next morning
Mhm.
and go again. And then yesterday, we stayed tough with the leaders, and unfortunately, at the end, we had a little equipment break. Our,
Sadly.
our traveler wasn't releasing, so we couldn't, as the breeze started filling in towards the end of the day, we couldn't depower the boat enough. So we were really challenged. And the third place Australian team managed to reel us in. But they paid us a really nice compliment saying that we were really tough to catch. So
Hey.
I'll take that.
I was watching it on the GPS. We were like, oh, it's like Bev's term. It's a dog on dog fight. So we were like, oh, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? And yes, that was the exciting part of yesterday
Yes.
for us. So thank you for that. I
No.
want to also know with Team Meerkat, being again via the fan favorite from what I'm seeing on Facebook, is there anything that you would like to give as maybe advice or an inspirational tip to other sailors, not just in the World 1000 race, but in general? Because you guys have a lot of people who watch this from a little bit of everywhere and is rooting for you guys. So I'm assuming you got other sailors or aspiring sailors who want to be a part of races. Is there anything that you can give them about your experience and how to get them a part?
Wow, that's such a deep question. I've spent my life sailing, and it's been my love. You
Mhm.
know, I've from a little boy surfing waves on my Hobie Cat, and calling my dad my sponsor, and coming into the beach with a broken boat, and my dad, not yelling at me, but encouraging
Hey,
me to
it
keep
happens.
going was a big thing. I think the biggest thing in my sailing career, if you want to call it that, has I think it was Paul Elstrom said, if you're competing um, and you lose the respect of your fellow sailor, you've lost the race.
Oh,
I
wow.
think
That's
that's
good.
and I've tried to live by that. I tend to get a little over competitive. My daughter can tell you that, and I've got a lot of making up to do with her since I did make her cry once or twice on the boat.
Oh,
Being a little too competitive. We laugh about it now,
that's good.
but the bond has that I've created with her, or that we've created between ourselves,
Mhm.
sharing this sport has brought us way closer together. And in fact, she's planning on flying in tomorrow for the start of tomorrow, and flying out the next day after. I'm sorry, the watching the finish, and then the start the next morning.
And then she's gonna
So
fly. That is
yeah, so
beautiful.
that means a lot. So
Yeah.
as far as giving somebody inspiration about sailing, I would say you got to, at the end of the day, you got to enjoy it. You got to have fun, because it can get very competitive,
Mhm.
and you can get really caught up in it, and especially when there's expectations put on you, to perform. And I sometimes feel a little intimidated by all the people watching, but it brings tears to my eyes to see how many people comment and
Yes.
say, go for it, go Team Mirka. It's so awesome that people are living vicariously through this incredible adventure that we're on. It really is. And I've been humbled by the enormity of this event. I understand now why it has the legacy
That it
that it
has.
has, this Worrell 1000. And it's funny, Michael will probably tell you too on the boat. Every now and again, I think I scared him the other day when I just suddenly yelled out, "Worrell 1000, baby!" We're doing it. We are, and we're doing it.
I love that. I
Right?
love
Isn't
that
that cool?
energy. So clearly, with the enthusiasm that you're having, you feel the camaraderie that everybody talks about with the Royal 1000 and why it makes it so special and unique. Where they say other races is a competition. You feel that animosity, that tension there. But they say with the Royal 1000 race, you have a tendency to feel more like family. We had Andre Hosky say it like it's like we have competitions, and then with the World 1000, it kind of feels like a family. Where one minute, like you said, something can go wrong out there on the water, and somebody floats by, and they're like, "Hey, you guys need help?" And it's okay, well, we got somebody coming on the way to da 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 da. So have you guys felt that sense of family or camaraderie with the World 1000 compared to other races?
Oh, incredible. I'm glad you brought that up. They're incredibly so. You know, there's in the sailing fellowship or this sailing community, and even this Hobie family that I was talking about earlier, there's always that case. You always, in all the competitions you take part in, and we've taken part in a lot and some pretty high level ones, and there's always that sense of respect and concern for your fellow competitor. You know, you are at the mercy of Mother Nature, and she's extremely powerful. Just when you just when you think you've got it all together, that's when she comes and she'll give you a good slap, and just to let you know you're not all there, you know? So from that respect, you know, that feeling is still, but yeah, nothing has gone, and we're halfway through this event now. We still got another, what, 5, 6 days? Yeah, to go. And oh, my hair's standing up thinking, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And this has been, I would honestly say, an experience of a lifetime. This has probably been one of the most incredible experience I've ever had, you know, apart from my daughter being married and my, you know, being with my wife. You know, this is probably one of the most incredible, and I'm trying to find words to express it, but um, I'm actually at a loss, the emotion. And like I said, I think the last couple of days, I've almost been brought to tears by the way I think because it's going over such a long period and there's so many challenges along the way, you really see what people will do for you, you know, and how it comes out of them, you know, and how giving some people are. I mean, and these people that have joined us on our team here are they're giving their time, and it's just like there's definitely some love. I mean, I've gone to every member, I think, and I've felt love for them. I'm like, you know, not in a weird way, but just like, man, look what you're doing for us. Look, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's and also the whole financial thing. I mean, I felt a little guilty by people coming out and saying, you know what, here's a contribution, good luck. You know, I'm like,
That's beautiful.
it's really something. And then to go through this challenge, being out, you know, going through these storms, being out at sea, up and down for many hours, you know, and then come to the beach and just be embraced, you know, is yeah, it's really special. It really is, and I think you won't experience that. I'm sure in like if you climb Everest or you do some extreme like that, that's what it's comparable to. It's you going through this adventure, and you actually have to rely on somebody else to get you through this. You cannot do this alone. You know, you need your team and your support to help you get through. You know, like I said, both mentally and physically. We definitely got a couple of little, but that doesn't hurt. It's really that's nothing. But that's, you know, it's called a love bite from the F-18. You know, so it actually feels good. Interesting. But that's part of it. So you feel his physical pain. I mean, you'll speak to Michael in a little while. Take a look at his hands, you know. He's been holding on to a sheet for quite some time. So, you know, you go through the physical and then the emotional side, I think, is probably the more challenging, to keep yourself going, to get up early in the morning, get ready for the start, force yourself to eat something and make sure that you're hydrated is and I must say we've spoken to enough people along the way that have done this event before us, and we've got such good advice from so many people, and our team has taken care of us, that we're actually halfway through this. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but halfway through this, we're actually feeling pretty good.
That's
you
great.
know, and I'm going to give everything to finish this.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Cause that's the point. Like you're supposed to give it all because the part of the experience, but again, you're not racing against the others. You're really racing against like yourself and time. So as long as you go out there and give the best that you can, I think you guys are winners anyway.
On that point, that's actually a very interesting point. You know, we got some incredibly good sailors here. I mean, those damn Australians, man, are they quick. You know, and they're very accomplished sailors, very accomplished, you know. So, you know, we got the French team here, we got the Germans here, you know, and then a bunch of US sailors, and a couple of South Africans, you know.
Yes.
So we'll keep the Southern Hemisphere going too, you know. And I think that's it, you know. I mean, yes, the competition is there, you know, and yes, you want to beat all these guys, and yes, you want to finish in a really good position would be really nice. But as we're going through this, just to finish this thing is
A feat within itself.
is a major to say. And yeah, I'm not, once again, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to give it everything we got, and I know our team is behind us to complete this. But just to finish this thing is an amazing accomplishment. And you know, to get halfway, yeah, I really feel like we've achieved so much.
You have.
And you know, and the bonds that we've created between our team is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
So I know you talk about your daughter and that she's accomplished in sailing just as much as you and a lot of other water sports. So will we see her a part of the World 1000 at one point?
That's a very interesting point. I think we're going to have to talk to her about that. I don't know. This is the World is a different challenge. You know, it's a different challenge. She's actually started running marathons, so who knows? She's a you know, it's. I got to tell you a little story. You know, Grace. I try to, in my enthusiasm and competitive nature, wanted her to love this sport. You will love this sailing thing as much as I love it. And I was a little too aggressive in introducing her and getting her to love this sport like I did, you know? And which was actually an error in my parenting, you know? I should have been a little more patient, you know? And but it's interesting how it's come. So, you know, I think I scared the daylights out of her. And she actually stopped sailing for a number of years. And then a good friend of mine's son actually asked her to do a youth event. And she did the event. And after the event came to me and said, Dad, can I sail with you again? I'm like, yes. You know? And Grace and I have had an incredible journey on sailing Hobie 16s. And yeah, we were very fortunate to get selected for the US team and go to the Pan Americans in 2015, where we won a silver medal, which is yeah, probably a major feather in the cap, you know. And it's funny, and the point of that story was now I look at her, you know, and I got a little older, you know, and a little, hopefully a little wiser, you know, and I've apologized for some of my behaviors there, and she's actually said that that's made her into the person that she is. And now when I sail with her, she's like, come on, Dad, let's go. Why are you letting this guy go past? So she's become a little more. I'm like, oh no, what did I do?
At least you know it's in there just a little bit, just a little bit.
She's an amazing person. I'm super proud of her, you know, and in her life, she's accomplished some amazing things. So she's an amazing person. So
They
hopefully
say
you
the
get
apple doesn't fall from the tree, far from the tree.
Hopefully you get to have a chat to her. You'll enjoy her. She's a good person.
I love to. I'd love to. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. We appreciate it. If you want to speak to your fans, because I know they want to hear more from you, say hello, please. You have the microphone.
Well, I think one thing I do need to do is I need to thank our families. You know, mostly my wife, for she's the one that encouraged me to do this. She's the reason probably I'm doing this event.
That's awesome.
You know, and a short little story, if I may. I mean, the entry deadline was coming up, and it's one of those bucket list things, and I had it was on there, but whether I did it or not, I didn't know whether I'd actually achieve it. And she encouraged me and said, "Go for it, just go for it."
Do it.
And that's when I called Michael up, and he was super enthusiastic, as I've expressed, I think, in a previous discussion, but he was super excited about it. So that sealed the deal, and we had to do it. And she's been an extreme help in the whole thing, and I think that's another part of this whole thing, is that there's no ways you can do it without the support of your family, so her and her daughters and my daughter have been behind us all the way, and then our Hobie family, all our family have chipped in, Bill Cast, Greg, Rayborn, people like that have donated money, and there's a long list of names. I don't want to start because I know I'm going to leave somebody out, but our immediate Hobie family has supported us and encouraged us. Every regatta we've gone to, they've encouraged us to do this, and all the messages on Facebook and that kind of thing. It's really humbling. This whole journey has been a real experience.
I'm glad. Yes. Say hello to all of them, the Hobie family, all of them.
Yes. No, thank you guys so much. And, I can't express enough how much I appreciate all the support. And, I hope that you can live vicariously through our adventures. We're trying to put it all out there. I know that some of you have been watching the tracking and have been staying up all night, watching us finish these events. So once again, thank you. I'm extremely humbled by all your support. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you,
I
Nikki.
appreciate it. I enjoy talking to you. You make me bubbly. Thank you so much. It is Makita Le Montel here at the beautiful Folly Beach in South Carolina with the World 1000, and I will, hold on, where's that?
Uh-oh.
Be back.
All good?
That was great.